Tonight, Yvette Fielding is taking Louis Walsh and Boyzone to a hell on 3 levels. Louis and the boys will be descending through forgotten subterranean streets. Travel further into the abyss to investigate a witch's lair.
That was right there.
And finally, should they get that far, deeper and darker to chambers believed to be haunted by evil ghosts.
No!
Edinburgh, considered as one of the most picturesque cities in Europe, is aptly nicknamed the Athens of the North. Today, the city is a tourist mecca, and visitors from around the world flock to take photos of the famous sights and have their photos taken with men in traditional Scottish skirts. However, beneath the cobbles of this historic city lies a dark history that many of the good folk of Edinburgh are unaware of, a network of streets and closes, once occupied by criminals and the underclasses. Built upon over the centuries, these dank, dark dwellings are home to an Edinburgh that is rarely shown on the cover of guidebooks. It is said that the souls that lived and died down here still walk amongst the shadows. The perfect place for the nation's favourite ghost hunter, Yvette Fielding, to take a band of Irish balladeers on a night searching for spooks.
What the f*** was that?
Don't love me for fun, girl. Let me be the one, girl. Love me for...
As Ireland's most adored boy band, Boyzone enjoyed hit after hit under the tender tutelage of manager and now TV talent show favourite, Louis Walsh.
We're looking for young, talented people.
Let's start a brand new story now, my love.
Not only did the guys sound good, they could look good too. And with those smouldering gazes, Boyzone became a million-selling international success. But when the going gets tough, the tough get going, and in 2000, the guys went their separate ways.
It's not the same.
Ronan went on to be the only artist ever to have 30 consecutive top 10 singles in the UK chart.
'Cause this is your song.
Fortunately, as is the fashion with boy bands,
I don't get it, I really don't get it.
the lads saw through their differences and got back together in 2007.
It's unbelievably hard to love you, but I love you anyway.
All loved up and dancing like their dads, the band are determined to stay together. You guessed it, no matter what. But will their love for each other keep them safe from the ghosts and ghouls said to haunt the subterranean caverns of Edinburgh?
There's a certain security from being in a band.
Yes, I'm apprehensive. I'm not going to tell you I'm not going to be afraid.
You know, I'll hide behind Keith and Shane because they're the biggest.
If something happens tonight, I'll be the first to run. I'll be out of there before anybody, and I'll be leaving them behind me.
If something came out of the dark and started chasing me, I'd run, you know? Run like you wouldn't believe.
You're having a laugh if you think I'm going in there.
Safety in numbers, but safety in numbers of friends is even stronger.
I'm really eager to see what am I going to do, how's it going to affect me, you know?
Daytime is never a problem, but once that sunshine goes down and the moon is out, it's a different level. Your mind plays awful tricks on you.
You can't trick a trickster, I tell you that.
It's scary business. It's real scary business.
Hey!
I think you might get a screamer through out of Steo. Maybe Louis.
I think Stephen will be the first to freak out tonight, absolutely.
That was Stephen. It was not me, Louise Walsh.
And Louis, I mean, I just can't wait to see what's going to happen there.
I want to go home. I promise I'll be good.
I think we'll be genuinely scared, but I think you'll see a very funny side of Boyzone tonight, which is always there, but people don't see it.
I know with Boyzone, it should be fun, but it is ghost hunting, so I think anything can happen.
I'm not staying here, man.
You've got to. Just...
I'm not staying here.
What? You've got to.
That was scary.
Why not?
I'm scared.
Yvette has not travelled to Edinburgh alone. On hand to keep a watchful eye on Boyzone and give them a word of reason should they feel the need is Professor of Psychology, Geoffrey Beattie.
I'm here to study the boys tonight and try to make sense of what they're going through from a psychology rather than from a paranormal point of view. This is a group of people, don't forget, who've been together since some of them were 16. Mackie was 21 at the start, he was a bit older. And he's the kind of sensible one, a bit of a philosopher, likes to use logic and rational thinking to make sense of the world.
I'm feeling an emotion. It's unusual.
Ronan, the kind of front man, says he's not really bothered by anything that's going to happen tonight. Personally, I'm not so sure. I've looked at his personality structure.
Did you hear that whistle? No, seriously, a whistle just here.
Louis is the manager of the group. Bit of an authority figure, but these are like rebellious boys. So Louis will have his work cut out if he's trying to keep that kind of authority kind of role. And Stephen, he says he's the sensitive member of the group. The rest of them kind of respond to that. They kind of protect him, and he looks out for that protection. Keith, thrill seeker, low in emotional volatility. He'll be up for anything we throw at him.
You know, if I get, like, possessed, my wife will say, where's the rest of them? I go, that was you and your own, Keith.
Shane's an extreme introvert. He needs nobody. He's happy with his own company.
Oh, he's not there!
Of course I'm not there.
Shane in particular has had some very negative experiences in the past with the occult, which has made him very worried about aspects of tonight.
I've probably been involved in the occult from mid-90s to early 2000s. And I don't get involved in that stuff because I understand it's very, very real.
Energy around the table now.
They all have religious beliefs to varying degrees.
You know, I was brought up Catholic, and I've got great faith as well, thank God.
I speak to God regularly.
I now have the protection of Jesus Christ with me.
But Shane and Ronan say that they are strong believers and they don't want to do any calling out tonight.
Come and stand at the table.
I can see you, don't worry.
You don't have to be scared. It's
I'm not
not
scared,
always you want.
sweetheart.
Now, of course, when they get in there, the whole thing will be different. There will be a lot of peer pressure to do certain things, to do what the group's doing. And this is a group who are now desperate to be together and to signal their social bonds. Whatever happens, I think it'll be exciting.
Louis Walsh and Boyzone have been asked to rendezvous at the imposing Edinburgh Castle and await the arrival of Yvette Fielding, ghost hunter extraordinaire and veteran of over 500 paranormal investigations.
I think with all her money, she gets some of the driver.
Hello, good evening and welcome. Hello, Boyzone. Hello, Louis. Now, a lot of people would probably think that we were going to go inside Edinburgh Castle and investigate it for ghosts. But we're not.
We're not?
Okay, no. I'm taking you here from the highest point in Edinburgh to the lowest point. Tonight, we're going ghost hunting in hell. Just get in the cab, let's go ghost hunting. Come on, guys.
Yvette is taking Louis and Boyzone on a journey that will go deeper and darker into Edinburgh's haunted underworld. From Edinburgh Castle at the top of the city, it's a short ride down the infamous Royal Mall to the city chambers and the first location of the night, Mary King's Close.
Okay, guys, we're right outside the city chambers. Underneath these cobbles is a very, very dark, dark place. It's a street where people used to live. There was plague there, and it's very, very haunted. So just behind you is the entrance. Stephen, go first. Let's go. Woo.
Come on, Mr. Walsh. I'll look after you.
Look at you. You like kids?
It's a shop deal. That's John Madison. How he feels about you going near Mary's Close.
Mary King's Close actually consists of a number of closes which were narrow streets with tenement houses on either side. In 1753, the Borough Council decided to develop a new building on this site, the City Chambers. The houses at the top of the closes were knocked down, and part of the lower sections were kept and used as foundations. As one of the oldest parts of Edinburgh, Mary King's Close has seen a good